The secret to crack CAT is taking a lot of mocks. We at Kraku give all the previous year's CAT, XAT and IFT papers in the actual exam format. Also, if you just Google Kraku free CAT mock, you can find 3 free CAT mocks in the latest exam pattern. You can take them and get detailed analysis.
Hi friends, welcome to Kraku's video series. I'm Saili Kale. I'm one of the co-founders of Kraku and an alumna of IIM Ahmedabad. In the recent days, we are getting a lot of questions from students regarding what would be the situation like in November. Would there be a CAT exam? And if there is a CAT exam and I suppose clear the exam, should I take MBA this year or the next year? So a lot of students are very worried about what the future holds. There isn't a whole lot of clarity about how they should go about either whether they should prepare for CAT this year or whether they should enter MBA or not. So there isn't a whole lot of clarity around these things. Through this video, I'll try to basically give you some information so that you will be able to better understand what is likely to happen and make a more informed decision. Again, like almost everybody in the world, nobody really knows what exactly is going to happen. But I can share some of my experience as far as what it means to enter an MBA during a financial crisis and what it means, what it looks like when you are like graduating. Again, the COVID situation is so absolutely new and unseen before that nobody can say actually what is going to happen. But we can give you a best case estimate about how the exam is likely to occur, etc. So the first question on a lot of minds is basically, would CAT be taken this year? See, firstly, CAT is there in say late November or December. Okay, now this gives the examiners ample amount of time to think of how they should actually go about doing this. If the CAT was suppose if it was in July, I would be certain that they would not be actually conducting the exam. But if it is in November, December, I think it is mostly likely that the exam is going to take place because we can't keep education on hold forever. Education and other parts of life have to continue. So I think that they will think of a way of conducting the exam. I think I hope mostly that we are out of this crisis by November, but in case we are not out of the crisis by November, they will have to figure out how to hold the exam in such a way that there is less likelihood of spreading the virus as such. So they might hold over more slots with a lot of spaces in between students. They might have to do this over several days as well. So you won't have the kind of schedule that we had till now where you had 2 slots over the same day. It might happen that they might have to schedule it something in the same way as that GMAT does, where they schedule it over many days and you can book a slot and you can say schedule over several days, and they'll have to basically spread out the students quite a bit so that the exam can be taken without the risk of contagion. So that is what I think is likely to occur if the virus does not go by November, December. But I am optimistic that it should be dealt with by then. If it doesn't, then I think that in the unlikely scenario that we are still battling COVID-19 in November or late November, then the likely thing that is going to happen is that they are going to hold the exam in such a way that they spread out students and limit the risk of contagion. Now, what exactly would that mean for CAT as such? See, if you have to hold CAT over several slots, basically the number of odd questions would decrease. What do I mean by odd questions? See, in DILR, the paper setter has to set similar sets across slots. Now, that would mean that you would have more arrangement questions, because arrangement questions are the kind of questions that can be similarly set across different slots. You can change the context, you can change the conditions, but the difficulty level, the setup, everything can be similar across multiple slots. Especially if you have to keep things similar over like 6 slots, it's very difficult with certain kind of questions. So I think then in that kind of a scenario, there will be a lot of arrangement questions, games and tournaments questions, table with missing values. Those kind of questions are easy to set such that they are similar across slots. Questions about like say 2D space LR or roots and networks, they are harder to set such that they are similar across slots. So that kind of set would be less likely in case we still have COVID-19. So I would suggest that be very very good at arrangement kind of questions. They are more likely to come in the case in the scenario that we are still battling the virus come November. Similarly, you will see that in general the questions would be, I feel, on the easier end. Now the reason for this, I think, would be the fact that harder questions are difficult to replicate at the same difficulty level across slots. So that is why you generally see that GMAT is on the easier side. The reason GMAT is on the easier side is because they have to keep something similar for all students across slots, across attempts, across like the 1,000 slots that people can take. Now if you have 6 slots, 7 slots, 8 slots, if you set a difficult question, what happens is that it's difficult to keep the same overall difficulty level across slots. If you set easy paper or like moderate to easy paper, then it's easy to keep that level of difficulty throughout the slots. So I would expect a slightly easier paper in that case, which is like some good news to look forward to in a year that has been terrible overall. Now this is what I feel that is likely to happen in November, but nobody knows what exactly will happen. Nobody has seen the future. Now in case you actually sit for the exam, you get through, many students are very confused on whether they should actually take admission come next June. Now next June we'll have a lot more information, so nobody can say how the picture will look like in June. It's important to remember that even if you are going through an economic crisis, it makes sense to go to an MBA school during an economic crisis. So this is, I am saying this from my personal experience. I went to IMA in 2009. At that point of time, the global financial crisis had just hit all the sectors. Banks were failing and a lot of job cuts were happening everywhere. And at that point of time, a lot of students actually joined their MBA program in 2009 because the job market did not seem like a very good place where you should spend a lot of time. Because what happens when jobs are being furloughed, a lot of people are nervous about whether or not their job will be there, and then they take lesser risk, they make fewer products. They do basically their own safe work for a longer time, which means that less value is added for the junior employees. So when your job market is slightly in pain, it makes sense to go for your MBA. That is if your economic cycle is expected to bounce back in 2 years, and it generally does. When we were going through the great financial crisis, a lot of people were saying that okay, this can drag for years together, this can be something which can shut down industries, but that did not really happen. There was a lot of economic pain, but 2 years later, what had happened is that companies had not hired for 1 or 2 years, and 2 years later when we actually graduated, there was like this huge boom in hiring. In fact, in 2009, internships also, a lot of people came for hiring, and in 2010, they were ready to give pre-placement offers. So what happens is basically when you go through a financial crisis, economic crisis, then 1 or 2 years after that economic crisis, basically people start rehiring, and they are basically hiring for the demand that had occurred for a long time. So the demand for new hires is also higher just after an economic crisis. So I would, in general, from my own personal example, I would think that when you're going into an economic crisis like this, which this current scenario looks like we are heading into a small, at least some amount of economic pain in the near future, I think it actually makes sense to go in and get your MBA degree, because nothing much is going to happen on the job front, because it's unlikely that new projects will be green lighted anytime soon. And at the same time, when you will be graduating or you will be going for internships, there will be a significant amount of interest in hiring again. So personally, I feel that economic crisis is actually the time when you should be looking at an MBA. So this is what I feel for all those students who are confused whether they should actually go for MBA or not, whether they should continue with their job, whether CAT will take place or not. See, again, nobody knows the future, nobody knows exactly how this is going to play out, but based on the past experiences, I feel that you don't need to worry a whole lot about whether CAT is going to be taken, and I think it will take place, and I think that this would be a good time to actually join an MBA college. So thank you for tuning in.